Well, the Guardians have just continued a miraculous, spectacular run, and there is still more work to do. There are 4 games left this season. One tonight against the Detroit Tigers coming up in about 40 minutes,
Yep.
and we'll get you set for that. We will get you set for Detroit Cleveland action this weekend as Browns will take on the Lions, and boy, oh boy, I mean, you could see Guardians Tigers in the playoffs one way or another.
Right.
It is myself, Kevin Arnold, Ryan Mosser on the other side of town, the state. I mean, kind of how our directions
Couple
are,
hours away.
but this is the voice of land. We are partnered with LPV Productions and, of course, partner with Greenie Sports Cards, which Ryan, we just posted it today. We have a giveaway from our time. Got to thank them over at that Woodside Event Center. Such a great event, such a great time. So many people out there, so many card tables.
Yeah.
And Greenies, they were kind enough to give us a box ourselves. I don't have the cards in front. I don't have the cards in front of me that I unboxed myself, like the rest of them.
Right.
But you have the pack of boxes people can win. Let them know how to do that.
Yeah. So like Kevin said, last week we went to the Greenies Broadview Heights show and recorded live there. It was awesome. Really cool experience. Got to meet a lot of really cool, awesome people. Great community. Kevin got to interview the Kent State men's basketball coach and Rob Senderoff, which was really, really cool as well. And then, like he said, Greenies provided this next giveaway for us. Well, for you, not really for us. For you guys to win. This is a brand new Panini 2025 Score Football card box with about 90 cards in it. Actually, it has 90 cards in it. A lot of rookies cards in here. There's potential to get signatures in there and a lot of other stuff. Really cool giveaway. We'll be doing it just for a few weeks. You can go on our Twitter at VTL_pod. It'll be our pinned tweet. It's already pinned there. Just go on there, follow the directions, follow us and Greenies, and then tag someone. You're entered. Really, really cool prize, and we're really excited to give this away to one lucky listener. So.
Yeah, and so that everybody can tune in for the playoff push. I mean, there's a chance to clinch a playoff spot tonight.
Yeah.
And then, of course, over the weekend, a chance to still have the division. We'll get into those match numbers in just 1 second, but we are going to do a little bit of a shorter show so everybody can go off. You can watch us and then go and watch the Guardians against the Tigers. Looks like the weather's going to be good for this whole series when it wasn't looking so good to start the week, and Mother Nature coming through as the Guardians continue to just, I wouldn't say dominate, just play complimentary baseball.
Guards ball, baby.
Ball.
As Stephen Kwan says.
We talk about complimentary football, all phases of the game, but I think complimentary insert sport here can go with a lot of sports. It's just commonly used with football, where you need your offense, your defense, your special teams, all 3 phases. Well, look, in baseball, you need hitting, you need pitching, and you need defense. And we did not see that throughout most of the year. Like, one thing was there, other things weren't.
Right.
And now it's all come together at the right time when you absolutely needed to. And now the Guardians are up 1 game in the Central Division when they were once down 15 and a half games back in July. First off, as we get in, now magic numbers, of course, tonight it's 2 to clinch a playoff spot. So it's a combination. It's magic numbers. If you don't know what that means, It means it's a combination of your wins and the team that's kind of chasing you, their losses. So you can separate yourself enough with not many games left in the season to then clinch because they can't come back anymore. So that's at 2 with us and Houston. It's at 3 for us in Detroit.
Right.
Now,
but if we win today, it'll be 1, which is awesome. So
yes, it would be us because you're playing the team that you're trying to separate yourself from. So if we win, that means they lose, and that's a 2 spot, and you go down to 1. Now, if Houston wins tonight, you win tonight. That number is at 1 to clinch a playoff spot. So you're not officially in. You have to win, and the Astros have to lose tonight to guarantee that. Mm-hmm. Now, this is where I want to start with this, and I don't want to do negative or anything like that, Ryan. But there's a couple things that. One main thing that frustrates me about all this. Yes, it is a collapse from the Tigers, but give the Guardians credit because they are doing what they need to do and playing great baseball to then capitalize on the mistakes and the collapse from the Tigers.
Absolutely.
Like, it has to go hand in hand. It's not. I know nationally you just want to say because Detroit was that sexy pick to as a team outside of the ones that spend a lot of money to win a World Series this year, and they got off to such a hot start. They continued from the All-Star break last season into this year, and it was like, could they sustain it all 162? Well, you see how difficult that is. And this, I'm not taking a shot at the Tigers, right? I'm not. Like, I
Right.
respect what they do because they respect what we do. I don't still don't like AJ Hinch
Yeah.
from
Yeah. Screw him. He's
everybody tied to those Houston Astro
yeah.
days. But like, I respect that they respect us and they're trying to follow our model. Not you can't follow the Dodgers. You can't follow the Yankees if you're a market like us in the
Right.
AL Central. But some of the other teams that have success that are kind of just below the Astros and the Yankees and the Dodgers in terms of money, like they chose not to follow them. They chose to follow the Guardians because of how this organization's been set up. So I respect the heck out of them. I'm not taking shots at them. It's just they have not played good baseball at all
Right.
in the month of September. Guardians are playing great baseball. All I'm saying is this is a shot at the national perspective. And I get it. We're always going against the national perspective. But there are certain moments where I feel like I need to defend this city, especially against the national narrative. And this is one of them. Yes, Detroit has collapsed. But talk about what Cleveland is doing. And yes, you have Stephen Kwan and Jose Ramirez. And Jose Ramirez is going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But other guys are stepping up. And one guy I love seeing stepping up right now, Rye. Oh boy, Bo Naylor.
Bro, we need it too. We need it,
Yeah,
especially at that catcher position. I mean, Austin Hedges is great. He calls a great game, but that bat is dead. We know what he is. He's a leader in the locker room. He's a guy who is basically another coach out there, which is great. But Bo Naylor, he looks like he's finally bringing it all together, man. He looks like he's raking. He's hitting home run after home run right now. He's looking really, really good, and just right when we need him to. It's perfect. So
it is. And so you have that. CJ Kafis, I think, has gotten a comfortability level with being here with the big league club. It was good to see George Valera get a home run last night.
huge.
And if people don't understand why he showed so much emotion last night, Ryan, I mean, this is a guy that has gone through so many injuries and like was touted as that, especially when he was at high A at Lake County. Like that was kind of, I wouldn't say like he was touted as being as good as Frankie Lindor was. And yes, I will call you Frankie. I don't care about Francisco, although it is fun to say, like Elf once told us.
Yeah, Francisco.
That's fun to say. But that, like, when Frankie was coming up through the system, like, there was, like, this buzz.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not saying Valera is going to be as good as Frankie, but, like, there was that kind of buzz with Valera. And then he just hit this injury bug, this injury wall. And to be able to get back this season, even going through injuries, and get up to the big league club, and then hit that home run, you saw what that meant to him.
Yeah.
And what, like, how appreciative that emotion last night was him for him and him for the organization too. But like, it's okay to like feel good about what you just did because of the trials and tribulations you've gone through.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just a testament to the whole team as well. I mean, at the beginning of the season, who would have thought that George Valera is going to be in a crunch position late in the season where we need someone to hit the ball and open the game up for us so that we can make the playoffs. And that's just a testament to Stephen Vogt and the way he's managing, and just all around, just like the atmosphere I think has really picked it up, especially once they the Luis Ortiz and I'm forgetting his Class A's situation. They decided to take the lockers out and just move on as a team, and they really rallied against each other. It's remarkable. This is historic what they've done, and they have to finish. But what they have done so far is just amazing. I think 3 weeks ago they were 9.5 games out. Like what? And what? And now we're the leaders in the division. It's insane. It's a testament to just a well-run organization and a manager of the year last year. So
Yeah, and some people could say like, "Oh, imagine if they, put the money into it, and
right,
they got like guys that were willing." When you like in this kind of case, in this kind of organization, like, yes, I would love to spend more money and get some players in here, but that has to be those kind of cases have to be the right player, and I
right,
mean like right player because it's it's much different coming into this clubhouse than a lot of other clubhouses, and I know that there's synergy, there's chemistry, there's love in every single clubhouse in Major League Baseball. But if you look at how the Guardians and even the Indians, when they were the Indians in the past, like how this has gone over the years and why they continue to contend and put themselves in playoff contention, you get in the dance, you got a chance. That's kind
right.
of my common phrase right now. Like the it's different the way that they go about it, and that love is different, and it should be like it should be about Cleveland, and then Detroit's love and synergy should be about Detroit.
Right.
All of those types of things. And it's so if you were to add someone that got like a bunch of money, like we've seen that before with who had like the running with like the parrot on his arm.
Encarnacion.
Yeah, Encarnacion, other big bats we bought in the past, like yeah, it seemed like they were all about being here, but it's you gotta really fit in. And you bring up a great point about cleaning out those lockers.
Mhm.
Like it's not that they don't love those teammates, whether that's right or wrong, how you feel about what they're alleged to have done in those two guys, that you take that out the window. Those guys are brothers. They've been in the clubhouse since the beginning of spring training. When pitchers and catchers reported, a lot of the Guardians players were out there at that point, not just when full team workouts started.
Right.
They needed to move on. And I think that really helped because that those two instances really stung, and especially with Clase,
Yeah.
those two really stung. And you have to give Vogt a lot of credit, Rye. I mean, as much as we've criticized moves and things and decisions he's made throughout the year, and the rotation of Manzardo in and not in, and this guy in, this guy not in, like let him play every day, you have to give him credit. I even saw someone last night trying to go, we win and we take that game lead, and really it's two games because you have the tiebreaker. And someone saying, "Did we really need to pitch, Cade Smith last?" Right now, you are in like
Yeah.
you have
It's
to do
playoffs. Yeah.
you have to do everything possible to win the day,
Right.
because playoffs are still not guaranteed. While you're on the precipice and it feels like it's going to happen, there are no guarantees until it actually happens.
Right. Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's been playoff baseball for at least the last 2 weeks. I mean, ever since they started coming across and really shortening that deficit between the wild card and Detroit in general. I mean, it's every game is a playoff game. So for people to complain, oh, did you need to pitch Cade Smith? Yes, you did. You need to finish every single game until the deed is done, until you are officially a 2025 MLB playoff team. Tonight's gonna be a really, really huge game. I just want to give a shout out to David Fry, and hopefully prayers up for him. That was just a really, really bad incident, obviously, with Terry Skrull being one of the best pitchers in the league, 99-mile-per-hour fastball to the face. Did you see that Vogt actually gave Skrull a ride to the hospital to go see him after that happened? I think that's incredible. Like,
Yeah. We can talk about the rivalry all we want between
Right.
these two cities, and like it's definitely heating up between Tigers and Guardians, and really that's what baseball needs. Is we need more rivalry stories like that to get the interest up
Sure.
more throughout the year than baseball has been able to drive. But it's still like that's why I do the pod I do with Andre Knott, and we call it Drain the Dugout. And yeah, you can find it on ESPN Cleveland's YouTube channel. But move on.
Check it out. It's really good.
Yeah.
I'll plug it. Kevin's really good at his stuff. Go check his stuff out.
But we call it Drain the Dugout because, like, baseball, more than any other sport, in my opinion, this is me. This isn't just, I'm not saying this is a fact or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it is about what's across the front of the chest, but it's also what's behind the name on the back.
Yeah.
Like, it's it's people, because you're in this for so long and 162 games and plus playoffs if you're going to make a deep run, and it's the people that make the stories that make things even more interesting, and that's what we try to go deeper into that. And that's what you are seeing, like the class act of Tarek Skubal. While he might jaw with fans during a game and it's competitive, that's fun moments. That's
Heck
stuff
yeah.
that's good stuff. I don't want to see him succeed when he's playing, but that's just the fan in us. But behind all of that, there is a class act. He went to go check on David Fry. And how about like it's probably best case scenario right now for David Fry. He was going to be in the clubhouse tonight to go visit the guys.
Yeah.
He's got on the hospital, and Zach Meisel and Tim Stebbins, Athletic and MLB.com respectively, they both said he was going to go check in on his guys, because that's the type of people that you have in your organization. That's the type of teammates that they are and brothers that they are, because they care about those guys and they want them to know, hey, I'm okay. You got a job to finish. Our goal every single time we go out there is just win the day. It doesn't matter about the Rangers coming in here tomorrow.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what we just did against the Tigers yesterday. All that matters is what we do against the Tigers tonight.
Yep.
And to me, that's fun. I know it's a long season, but that's what makes baseball fun for me is how the Guardians and Tigers and teams like them approach the season, and it just makes it compelling all the way through.
Yeah, especially, I mean, like you said, with the deficit of the cap, I mean, lack of cap rather, I mean, there's these teams that can spend hundreds and hundreds of $1 million, and unfortunately we are limited, very limited. And, year in and year out, just continue to produce at a level that we really shouldn't. I mean, we have a -2, run differential right now, which is insane compared to like the other run differentials in the division leaders. Toronto's +57, Mariners are +76. We're -2. Brewers +175, Phillies 131 plus, Dodgers 126. We should not be here. But like you said, it's just a testament to the locker room. I think really the pivotal moment was, unfortunately, the issues with Clase and Luis Ortiz, because I mean that you could go one of two ways. You could, oh crap, we just lost a starting pitcher, and our closer, like, we're screwed, we're done. Like, look at I don't know where they were at that point with the 10-game losing streak, but nonetheless, like, they weren't playing very well, and then you lose two important pieces, but instead they rally, and it's really just. We're very lucky. It stinks that, we can't compete monetarily with a lot of the other teams in the league. But I mean, Jose's taking a discount for a reason. Like, this place is special. So,
and it takes special things, special people to make the kind of run you have to in baseball. If you're going to be a team like the Guardians or the Tigers or any team in the AL Central, NL Central, whatever, those mid-market, small market teams that are still able to win a World Series, like, those are the type of special moments that you have to go through.
Yeah.
Rookie on the hill tonight, Parker Messick, who has looked great. It is a big moment. The crowd is going to be on fire again tonight. We'll see how he kind of handles that, because I think this will be, if you do make the playoffs, I'm not saying it's happening. I'm not saying it's not. That's just my superstitions. Hey, Jay, leave people with superstitions alone. All right, man. I saw you talking to our friend Ethan, and like, he's got superstitions, and I'm gonna explain the whole thing with the. I promised Ethan.
Yeah. I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious. So.
Yeah. I'm not a little stitious. I'm superstitious. But I promised our friend Ethan in Virginia that I would explain it as best as I can, because the Guardians did promote that they're selling playoff tickets right now, and like, you haven't clinched. Just very quick, very, very basic. It's an MLB directive.
Sure.
Like, teams around, like, if you're in the race, you have to be prepared for playoff baseball, whether it's going to be your house or, you have to go on the road and then you win a series and you're going to have home games at some point. You have to have all these plans in place, how you're going to incorporate, how you're going to bring in the new, like, TV outlets and stuff, because there's going to be more cameras, all of those things outside the local broadcast that you get every single game of the 162. So it's like, it's a whole process with MLB. And then, like, you have to have the tickets sold and stuff like that, because it's just part of the process. Yeah. Right. I don't like seeing those types of things either, but Jay, take it easy on Ethan, all right? You know, like, I know you might not be superstitious or a little stitious. That's totally fine. Other people are. Let them live. Let them live, man.
Jay,
Let
I'm
them
with
live.
you.
Let them
There's no
live.
such thing as a curse. It's all just what it is, man. Sorry.
I know. But boy, oh boy, there's so many stats like rolling through my head of like, you know, because you were talking about the run differential.
Mhm.
And there's stuff running through my head, but I don't want because I'm superstitious. I don't want to give it out because we haven't clinched anything yet.
Sure.
And maybe by the time we do the next show, maybe it's either going to be we're in the midst of it or we're it's too late. But I'll still mention them next week. The one I do want to mention though, and I saw this today. I think it's in the month of September, the last certain amount of games, the amount of runs given up. Guardians have 37 runs given up. The next closest is like Seattle with 70 plus.
Wow.
That is the reason you are here.
Yeah.
That is the reason you've been able to capitalize on the issues with Detroit. And you knew coming in the month you were just going to have to find a way to keep winning and win series and piece some win streaks together. You did it at the right time.
Yeah.
Now finish the job. Nothing's clinched. Finish the job. On to the ever beautiful, if that's how you want to call them, Cleveland Browns. So we were pretty negative on Saturday at the show, is like rightfully so. They're 0-2. You got a great team coming in the Green Bay Packers. Everyone was crowning them. They are who we thought they were. But your defense kept you in that game. You do enough on offense. This is a different animal. I think that this is a much better offense than the Detroit Lions. Their offensive coordinator probably shouldn't be talking trash. But guess what? Grant Delpit talked trash this year and backed it up. So they're going to go out there and they're going to try to back it up. If you really take that personally, show up and show out as a defense and hope that this offense, who are expected to see a much different defense this week, Ryan. You probably know a little bit more about this than I do, but like they've been seeing a shell defense that people said like is contributing to the lack of big playability, even though the big plays are there and we're not taking them when they are there. They're going to play base defense and they're going to do what they do, and the shot plays should be there if you can block up front.
I mean, that's the big question right there, is if you can block up front. I mean, it doesn't help that DeJuan Jones is now hurt and out for the season. We have, backups for, I think, both tackles. I don't think Conklin's going to play either. I'm not sure about him. But, I mean, our offensive line in general is a huge, huge issue now and specifically next year. I mentioned on Sunday I do the Inside Edge Browns pregame show, and I mentioned, Joel Bitonio, 2026, is an unrestricted free agent. Ethan Pocic, 2026, unrestricted free agent. Wyatt Teller, unrestricted free agent next year. And then you have two injured tackles who are just perennial now, unfortunately, hurt all the time. Hopefully, DeJuan John, he looked really good coming out this year. Looked really thin after an injury, but unfortunately, he's injured again. This offensive line is a huge issue. I think, like you said, this defense is good. I mean, Jack Campbell has 26 tackles. Their linebackers in general are really, really good. Derek Barnes as well has 19 tackles. Both have a sack and a tackle for a loss. They're going to play base defense, but they're not going to make too many mistakes. It's where you need to scheme and get open. And I'm nervous about this offensive line. I just don't know if we're going to have enough time to get that ball out. I think we're going to have to run a ton with Quinshawn and maybe short passes here. I don't know.
Yeah, and this is one of the best rush defenses in the league too in the first three weeks. Now we have a pretty good one too. We have the number one defense there. Overall, yeah. Again, people are trying to tell you that you've never seen a push from the offensive line like you're going to see this weekend. You never see like a rushing attack like you've seen this weekend in your first 4 games.
Yeah.
All right. I think, today Jim Schwartz and everybody, because they were being asked about it, because the comment came out as the reporters are out there in Berea. It'd be interesting to see how Miles responds. He usually talks on Friday. We don't need to bulletin board their bulletin board.
Right.
We don't need to trade bar for bar. If you really taking it personally, what did Jordan always do? In that Last Dance documentary, he said, like, I took that personally. He went out on the court and balled out. Go out on the field and balled out. Like, you're the number one defense for the first 3 weeks. People still don't believe in it. Make them believe. Go on the road. That place is going to be loud. It's going to be packed. You're inside a dome, so like that noise is going to stay within there. Shut the fans up.
Yeah.
You have to create the atmosphere where you can have the most success. You're not going to be able to win 13-10 like you did last week. That's for sure. This offense has to show something. And I know we get on Kevin Stefanski at times with play calling or little decisions. And I'm looking at all 22, he's scheming guys open. And at times there's guys that they're just not getting open. And Jerry Jeudy is MIA. He's on the milk carton for those youngsters that don't get that. Like, just research it. They used to put missing people pictures on milk cartons. So he would be on a milk carton right now, and he's dropped passes. Just doesn't look like he looks like the Denver Bronco, Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, just a guy.
Just a guy. He doesn't look like the Cleveland Brown that we saw last year was one of the main bright spots of this. And if people have adjusted to him defensively, he's got, like, if you think you're a great wide receiver, doesn't matter how teams play you, defend you, adjust to your talents, they somehow get open still.
Yeah.
And there's plays with Isaiah Bond where that's open. And I feel like it's going to take one or two of those bigger plays where I think things can then open up a little bit more. I'm not saying it's going to help against Detroit. I'm not saying I'm picking the Browns to beat Detroit. But that's really what's missing. You can't compete with the Lions if you're not going to score points.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to finish by saying, like, your defense is great. It's the NFL.
Yeah.
You're going to give up points this season. Like, and we'll complain about the mistakes that they made to give up those points. But in reality, like, in the back of your mind, you understand, like, that's going to happen. The offense at some point has to pull their weight. Somewhat.
I agree. Yeah. I don't know if this week is going to be the week for the offense to pull their weight, unfortunately. We'll see. I mean, I'm just really, really nervous about this offensive line. And hopefully, Quinshawn looked really good last week. I mean, he's already leading rookies in rushing yards for the season. I only played 2 games. 155 yards is pretty good after 2 games. And he has a touchdown as well. I don't know. This Lions offense is very, very good. I mean, Jared Goff already has over almost 800 yards in the season and 7 touchdowns with 1 interception. Their offensive line is really good. Montgomery he scored the most out of all running backs last week, and then Gibbs was actually second most, so that's insane. And then Ron St. Brown is a top 3 receiver right now. That's a lot to cover. Not to mention Sam Laporta, Jameson Williams, Isaac Tesla, who's a up and coming rookie. There's a lot of guys who get the ball and produce in this offense. And our defense is, like you said, very, very good. Last week, one of my keys to victory was that, we're going to have a turnover. And not only a turnover, but we're going to have to limit those yards that the offense will be able to score off of that turnover as well. And Grant Delpit exactly did that. He intercepted the ball and took it, all the way back to the 10-yard line and gave our offense an opportunity to score. The block punt was amazing as well. So there are, our defense will have to keep us in this game. But like you said, our offense is going to have to do something. These receivers, they're buns right now, man. I mean, no one can catch the ball. Cedric Tillman, is he good? Everyone thought he was going to be really good this year. Hopefully he still is, but it's up in the air. And unfortunately, I just don't think we're going to have a proper assessment of these players because our offensive line is just, it's negligent. It's so bad.
It's old.
It hurt, and
inexperienced.
Yeah. So it's all 3. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why defensive efforts went awry in week 1 and week 2 is because the offense gave up the ball and put them on short fields.
Right.
And you can only give great offenses short fields so often where they're going to They're going to score touchdowns. And the league is set up rule-wise to favor offenses in the NFL.
Right.
So as great of a defense as you're going to be, points are going to be given up. There's going to be 20-plus point games from opponents. Like, yeah, the 41 point from the Ravens, that one just kind of, I would say, spiraled. But there's going to be consistent offensive efforts against you that are going to score 20-plus points. And if you are taking football offense back to the day that it was invented, then you're not going to have any success, and you're going to get what a lot of people think that you all want over there in Bria, and that is the highest pick you can get plus another first round pick that you can. I know, but in those types of seasons where you're not like a playoff team, you have to be able to see that there's something there.
Yeah.
Because NFL teams turn things around very quickly if you get the right pieces, and you started with a foundation in this rookie class, and there's another core that is in their prime right now, you know, depending on how their bodies hold up and stuff, about to teeter over that prime edge, and you need to be able to take advantage of it. It is unfair to Denzel Ward.
Yeah.
It is unfair to Myles Garrett. It is unfair to a Malik Collins, to you know, all of these guys on defense that have been here for a while that are putting forth this effort. It is a real slap in the face, and that's putting it nicely. If you don't give an effort to try to win and at least put the ball in motion to be one of those teams that then takes a big jump the next year, because everything is right there. You just have to fine tune things. If you continue to go the way you did in those 2 losses, it's going to turn into last year, and people are going to lose their jobs. I never root for anybody to lose their jobs, but it's going to be a whole reset. And then guys that were brought in by that front office aren't going to be here anymore, and things are going to look a lot different.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead and finish.
I want to come out of this year, Ryan, knowing that there's like stuff in place.
Sure. Yeah, I just don't see Jimmy Haslam firing these guys regardless of the outcome of this season. I feel like, you know, logically, I called for their jobs last year. I mean, at the end of the season, I said that, you know, it would be a mistake to keep these guys. You know, I mentioned that, you know, I think that Kevin Stefanski saved his job last year by using Ken Dorsey as the scapegoat, and, you know, releasing the play calling to him, and then now taking it back. Well, now we see what's happening. And I mean, yeah, you're not doing any favors or getting any favors from the offensive line and a 40-year-old quarterback who likes to throw it to the defense. But I mean, it's time to put up or shut up. And unfortunately, you know, logically, since they didn't fire them last year, I don't see that happening again this year, especially after Andrew Berry had just what I think is the best draft out of any GM this past year. And I've been very critical of Andrew Berry, but this rookie class of the Browns is amazing. At least the first 4 picks, wow. We could, you know, argue about taking 2 running backs or, you know, 2 quarterbacks, especially when I just mentioned the offensive line is going to be so bad next year. You'd think that maybe they'd like to stack, you know, some players in those positions, but nonetheless, like, I mean, I think we have, you know, 4 possibly Pro Bowl players out of those 4 picks, and that's really, really awesome. And, you know, him trading those 2 first-round picks, trading our second overall to get the 2 first-round picks next year, I'm assuming that he is on the same page with Jimmy Haslam, and he is going to be the one to select those picks, especially with, you know, if they fire the GM, usually they don't go after an established GM. They go after a rookie GM, a guy with no experience, up-and-coming, promising guy. And I'm tired of having guys with no experience make those picks. Barry made that trade full knowing that he's going to make those picks next year. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. I still think we'll be a top 5 pick with the Browns. We can get a draft. I have a lot of scenarios to draft out. We can get to that later, but I think it's just, I mean, I warned you, it's going to be a hard season, and, you know, now we're seeing the injuries on the offensive line. It's going to be even worse. And I think the defense can make plays to keep us in games, but unfortunately it's only going to be on the defense. So,
and if you've been apathetic in the past, you may want to try to hold on to apathy so you don't get hurt too much. It's crazy what happens when you actually attend pro days and combine and bring like I'm just gonna say pro days because yeah, they've been to the combine, they brought in guys for workouts, but like to be front and center and be able to talk to these guys at pro days when you haven't attended pro days in the past and this iteration of the organization, huh? Made some really good picks this year. You were at the front lines of a lot of places, and yeah, those were quarterback places, but there were a lot of other good players out there trying to get a job in the NFL,
Right.
and you found some. Hmm. Huh. Maybe that's a strategy you want to stick to if you're going to keep your job.
Right.
I don't expect the Browns to win this weekend, though.
No, I don't either. I think
No,
it's going to be
I'm not putting a
embarrassing.
score on it. I'm
Nope,
not going to put a
just
score on it or anything, but I don't expect it that way. Hey, don't expect it, and it happens. The joy just feels that much better.
last week, baby.
um, Last thing I want to touch on before we get out of here, just a couple minutes left,
Yeah.
before the Guardians get started. Ohio State, first road test. Any concerns there going out to the West Coast? Julian saying in his first road game and in a place in an area of the country where they have built stadiums to make sure that noise you feel it in a different way than most other places.
Yeah, I'm not concerned. I mean, I'm glad that we had the week off to prepare. You know, we're finally going into interconference play against Washington Huskies. Week 1, the Huskies beat Colorado State 38-21. Not a very good team. They did beat UC Davis Aggies. Also not a good team, 70-10. Put on a show. Devin Williams, their quarterback, looks really good. He likes I think their feature player though is going to be the running back, Jonah Coleman. He's by far their best player, I think. 5'9", 229, runs a 4.5 40. Very physical back. Great hands on the backfield. He's averaging 18.8 yards per reception, which is really good for college. And he has really good vision. He has 150 scrimmage yards per game with at least 10 total touchdowns in the first 3 games. Chester Taylor from Toledo, Lamar Jackson from Louisville, Jonathan Taylor from Wisconsin, and Mohammed Ibrahim from Minnesota. The only 4 other players to ever do that in college football. So I think that's pretty cool. He's really good. Nonetheless, I don't think this team is going to be a problem. Our defense is world class. It's insane, the depth and what this coaching staff and recruiting staff has been put together. I think we should hit the ground running. Jeremiah Smith is second right now for Heisman race, and I think he'll continue that. I think he'll have a really good game. I don't think Washington's defense is very good. I think, like I said, the only players I would consider anyone watching is Jonah Coleman and then their Devin Williams, their quarterback. But other than that, they don't have a good passing.
Their transfer safety is pretty good too. McLaughlin, okay. I think his name is. I have it in my phone, but I can't look at my phone because it's there.
You're good. Their top receiver is Denzel Boston. He is a decent draft prospect. Some are saying day 2. Some before the season were saying he was going to be the top receiver going into the draft. I don't think that's the case. 10 catches, 142 yards, and a touchdown. But I mean, in 3 games, that's not really that great. He is a good player, but I think they're going to solely base their offense on the running game, and our defense is going to stomp them. Arvell Reese is going to destroy this week. So
yeah, I think this is a week where secondary gets tested because you do have eyes on the quarterback and that run game. That's what allows them to get some of those deep shots, some of those big plays. I mean, I watched them. I know Washington State's not a good team, but I did watch that game or some of that game, and I saw what Damon Williams could do. And I love the breakdown that Jake Butt had on Big Ten Network, talking about how like Matt Patricia can probably use Caleb Downs as a spy this week, but yet still able to make plays everywhere else, like leave that position when needed and go make plays like at the same time, somehow doing that balancing act. So that'll be an interesting chess match to see for sure. Ohio State at Washington, 3:30 on Saturday, and we'll talk about all of this next week. Where will the Guardians be? Browns, are we having the same conversations, or does the offense show any sort of life at all? Ohio State, big time. And then, of course, make sure you tune in to CBC TV. I think they have a big matchup this week. I think it's Kirtland at Wycliffe, like my alma mater. 2 teams are 5-0. Look, I expect Kirtland to take care of business. I'm looking for Wycliffe to be like 9-1 in the season and have a good spot in the playoffs, and then, force their way away from Kirtland until the regional final, if that were to be an option. So if they win, great. Kirtland is just Sorry,
Yeah.
my fellow Wycliffe people. Like Kirtland is
They're
just
good.
like you are going to see something you haven't seen this year. But Wycliffe is a very good team as well. Kirtland at Wycliffe, Peter just confirming that. So make
Yeah.
sure CBC TV, Sugar Valley Conference, YouTube channel, Kyle Cornell, Double A, Anthony Alford on the call of that one. Plenty of other places have live streams. ESPN Cleveland will have our scoreboard show 8 to 10 tomorrow night. A lot of great performances that I want to get
Yeah.
into next week because we're halfway through the high school football season.
That's crazy, man.
Crazy.
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 Walsh Jesuit at Hoban tomorrow is going to be a good game. Avon at Brea Mid Park. Both teams are 4-1. Going to be a good game. And then Hickory at Canfield are both 5-0 as well. So just a couple other games out there.
I'll give you a couple more big time matchups as well because I have my handy dandy notebook right here. So another big one. CBCA, Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy at Lake Catholic. Lake Catholic just getting a 6-3 win to give Benedictine their first loss last week.
Yeah.
A defensive battle. CBCA, of course, only playing 4 games, but they are 4-0 and they have a very, very good defense. They have a linebacker commit in Joey Kopech going to Rutgers. So a name to watch there. NDCL, Holy Name. That's a big one as well. You want offense, though? Maybe keep an eye on the score. Norton at Streetsboro. Those 2 offenses have been lights out this year, so someone's going to come away undefeated in that one. But that's going to wrap it up for this edition of The Voice of the Land. We will get into more high school next week. Guardians.
Real quick. Just go on our VTL_pod on our Twitter, and you can check out our giveaway. You can win this awesome box there. It's courtesy of Greeny Sports Cards. Sorry, Kevin.
No, hey, man, I was going to get to it, but cut me off. Like that's more important than previewing a show that's not going to happen for 7 days. So that's way more important. Make sure you check us out on social media. Try to win those cards. I mean, I opened a couple of the packs that were in the box got ourselves. They were pretty cool. So if you're a card collector, you want to get into it, that box is probably going to be a good start for you. So for Ryan Mosser, for Peter Tellup, hopefully everything worked out with everything he had going on today. I'm Kevin Arnold, reminding all of you, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. We truly love you all, 3,000. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Ryan.
In the words of Stephen Kwan, that's Guards ball, baby. Go Guardians.
Go Guards. Gardos all the time. If you get the reference, you get the reference. Live life, all gas, no brakes. We'll see you next time right here on The Voice of the Land, brought to you by Green Sports Cards, partner with LPV Productions. Have a good night, everybody.